What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of GWP Wrestling News, where we get into the midweek and get caught up on everything before the podcast this Sunday. Let's get right into it. Got a few really cool things to look at today. And we're starting with this one. The headline reads Pro Wrestling Promotion Makes Major Announcement. This is put out by Awful Announcing, so not familiar with them. It's the picture is clearly AEW, so let's see what we're saying here. It's been a quiet few months, for All Elite Wrestling since the pro wrestling promotion announced its new media rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery last fall. But ahead of this Sunday's AEW Revolution show, the company shared significant news regarding its pay-per-views, which will now be available for purchase on Amazon's Prime Video streaming service. Okay, we are thrilled to work with Prime Video to bring all AEW pay-per-view events to their incredible service, marking a major milestone in the continued expansion of AEW's global reach. AEW pay-per-view events are consistently the most exciting professional wrestling events in the world. That's true, and fans will now be able to experience that firsthand through Prime Video, beginning with AEW Revolution. While they won't be free, even subscribers to the streaming service will need to pay an additional fee to purchase them, as is the case with the UFC on ESPN Plus. Adding Amazon as a streaming partner marks a significant development for the pro wrestling promotion in addition to traditional pay-per-view outlets. AEW pay-per-views were previously available on Warner Brothers Discovery's Bleacher Report branded streaming service before being dropped last fall. It's also expected that AEW pay-per-views will eventually be available on Max at a discounted rate, although it's unclear how those plans might be affected by Warner Brothers Discovery's recent announcement that it is dropping the Bleacher Report Sports add-on. Huh. It still doesn't fix the problem. I mean, $50 for the pay-per-view where all of my WWE events, including WrestleMania, I'm paying $6.99 a month for, or maybe it might be $9.99. Either way, unless all I have to pay. These dogs are driving me crazy today. Unless all I have to pay is like $10 extra, I'm not. It's not that interesting. So moving on. Um, we've got some stuff going on here. Travis Scott hooked on WWE. Rumors on The Rock, John Cena, and Cora Jade's injury. So let's see. Based on video released of rapper Travis Scott following his appearance at Elimination Chamber, it seems as though he has already caught the proverbial wrestling bug. WWE head of creative Triple H took to X to post video of himself talking to Scott backstage after the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event in Toronto. Scott seemed energized. Okay. After John Cena won the Elimination Chamber, Rock had given Rhodes until Elimination Chamber to decide. Yep. During the press conference, The Rock acknowledged that Travis Scott may have a match at some point. And it was later reported that we knew that. All right, moving on. Rock is reportedly expected to have a role at WrestleMania 41, but not in an in-ring capacity. No surprise there, by the way. Oh, what a shot that is. Anyways, it's also he may appear with Cena on one of the episodes of Raw in Europe this month. Okay. It isn't clear which Raw that will be, but Brussels, Glasgow, and London are all set to host Raw in March. Even if he doesn't wrestle, he has a chance to make a huge impact. Here we go. Cora Jade reportedly suffered a legitimate, let's try that again, a legitimate injury during her match against Jordan Grace on Tuesday night's episode of NXT, which was a great episode. This was a little bit sucky, but let's see. Jade suffered a head injury, which resulted in the match being stopped. A referee and trainers checked on Jade in the corner, and the decision was made to end the match, resulting in a win via referee stoppage for Grace. Speculation emerged on social media that Jade had injured her knee during the bout, but she insisted that wasn't the case in a post on X. Got rocked for a sec, but my knees are all good. Decent. Thanks for the concern. The 24-year-old Jade tore her ACL in January. Yeah, we know all that. Healed upon return at Vengeance Day last month. Jade competed in Fatal 4-Way. So, very interesting. Hope everything goes well with her. I'm sure with it being a head injury, she's definitely on concussion protocol. So, don't expect to see Cora Jade much for at least a few weeks. But let's see, we can close this one out. Now we can close this out. Moving on. Becky Lynch's deleted response to CM Punk's Raw call out was a message to AJ Lee. I'm guessing this is a Twitter post. Let's see. During a show opening promo on March 3rd, WWE Raw that ranks among his best, and as he's considered one of the best talkers in pro wrestling, CM Punk sent a message to Becky Lynch that she should come get her man. The man's man is, of course, Seth Rollins. Punk and Rollins will try to settle their issues in a steel cage on next Monday's show from Madison Square Garden. Issues that may be even more heated after Lynch's since deleted social media response to Punk's call-out. It was actually directed at Punk's wife, former WWE star April AJ Lee Mendez, and it wasn't a come back and fight me kind of message either. Let's see. She posted, catching up on Raw. I don't think I'm the only one who needs to come get my man. Instead of paraphrasing Punk's line while reposting a fan squeeing over his and Roxanne Perez's similar outfits at Elimination Chamber last Saturday, Becky seems to be implying that Lee may want to double check on her hubby's relationship with one of the young women on the WWE roster. Okay, stirring shit up. I like it. Moving on. Backstage details on John Cena's potential opponents at WrestleMania 41. The hell? Like, this was one day ago, so I don't know what. Let's read. The Elimination Chamber match did not give any particular surprises, unlike the Royal Rumble, and was won by the most awaited man. The hell is going on after? Y'all hear them planes? Shit. Everyone knew that John Cena was supposed to compete for the world title at WrestleMania 41, which is why his triumph at the PLE was quite predictable. The leader of the C Nation, who had suffered one of the most shocking losses of his entire career at the Rumble, not only prevailed in the chamber, but also shocked the whole world with the first heel turn of his entire career. The 16-time world champion hit Cody Rhodes in a moment of distraction and opened an incessant debate on the web with his gesture. Insiders wonder if WWE management made the right choice, given that it is the last year of John Cena's career and no one knows how the crowd will react to this new version. Damn, I can't do nothing right this morning. I thought I had that muted. I'm sorry, guys. It is now. Moving on. Bearing any shocking surprises, Cena is set to face the American Nightmare at the Showcase. However, the positions of The Rock and Roman Reigns in view of the most important event of the year are not yet clear. On the latest edition of the Not Some Wrestling podcast, Top analyst Sam Roberts hypothesized a different scenario than what everyone expects. I think if Roman Reigns is going to be on those SmackDowns, maybe Roman Reigns is going to be on some Monday Night Raws, and we just don't know yet. Well, that's informative. But if Roman Reigns is going to SmackDown, does he get involved in Cody Rhodes and John Cena's match? Is Roman going to somehow find a spot in that? And maybe Seth and Punk are left alone. Maybe Seth and CM Punk just go to WrestleMania against each other. That's not a main event if that's the case. Oh, shit. I hope Roman doesn't get injected into that damn match. I'd rather him be part of that and have that a triple threat. Oh, boy. It's going to be an exciting several weeks before we get to Mania, guys. Next up, and our final little bit for the day, probably. It really sucks to be a Death Rider in AEW right now. So last night was the final episode of Dynamite before AEW Revolution, where Cope will challenge Moxley for the AEW World Championship. I don't think Cope's going to win, to be perfectly honest with me. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Moving on. That plan Cope's plan is to injure every single member of the Death Riders before the pay-per-view so that Mox has no help. To that end, Cope quickly took out Pac with multiple concertos. He also sent Claudio and Marina Shafir out in an ambulance last week. That means Wheeler Yuta is the only Death Rider henchman left for Cope to target. And, of course, Cope and Wheeler had a match last night. So this article is actually written yesterday, was it? Yeah. So we shall see. It's going to be an interesting Revolution pay-per-view. I wish the AEW pay-per-views would get more accessible. I understand that it's probably not feasible for money's sake to not do that. But they're going to bring in a lot more viewership if they figure out a way for us to be able to not have to spend $50 on it. Let's double check this for any other news. There's not a damn wrestling thing popped up except the very first article there, which was 5 names WWE needs to induct into the Hall of Fame in 2025. We should be getting some more Hall of Fame announcements very soon. I expect possibly even on SmackDown. I hope. AEW are proving that WWE dropped the ball with Ricochet. That's an something that we don't talk about as much on the podcast, and we really should, because that rivalry with Swerve and Ricochet has been phenomenal, and it's kind of been overshadowed by how sucky some of the other stuff is. Tony Storm cooks Mariah May in a great Dynamite. Every segment with Tony Storm is gold, pure gold. Mwah. She is going to be going down as one of, if not the greatest women's wrestler ever. She will be GOAT tier by the time her career ends if she keeps going the way she's going. It's a guarantee. Everything she touches is turning to gold. That's all I got to say about that. However, that's going to do it for this edition of GWP Wrestling News. Sorry about that. Oh, what a rough morning. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you've heard of any rumors or news that I may have missed. Make sure, if you hadn't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notification bells so you don't miss any of the other great content. It doesn't have near as many interruptions as this video did. And I don't know if I'm going to have time before work to edit all those out. So sorry about that. Also, check out our other channels. Gladiator Toys, that's where I show off all of my other action figures and toys that I collect. Plus, check out the Chase Collector. That is the other half of Gladiator Wrestling Podcast. Check his channel out. He's got things up and going over there and really starting to make moves. He doesn't really do long form videos. It's all shorts, but they are really cool. He's showing off all of his Chase variant figures and he's starting to open them up. So guys, check him out. That's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Gladiator out.